Alright, so since everybody loved the first Wolverine video so much, I'm gonna make another one on how to use the Howl, this move, because a lot of people don't use it. And so basically how I'm gonna cover it is I'm gonna show how you're using it wrong, and I'm gonna show you what it actually does, and then some combos to use with it. So the first thing is the thing most Wolverines do, even like I still see this even in like Diamond Elo, that Wolverines still do this mistake, is they'll go in, let's say they like, I don't know, let's say they're hiding behind cover here, and they'll like, oh, I'm going in, right? And then they make a realization of like, oh my god, I'm taking so much damage. Oh, dash out, Howl, run away, and then they just die like right here, right? And because it's happening because they're howling at like 100 HP, right? So the way you should be using it, actually first I'll explain how it works, right? Is that it doesn't say in the tooltip, it just says unleash a fierce howl to briefly reduce incoming damage, right? So it's a damage reduction, but we don't know how much. And so the number is 50%. So for 5 seconds, you get 50% damage reduction. So you take half damage. So what that means is that, so there's a concept in gaming, right? Any video game has this, where it's called effective hit points or effective HP, where whatever the percentage of damage reduction you have is how much effective health you actually have, right? So even though I have 300 health, when I put this on, I have effectively 450 health. Now, this is important because there's a second thing that Wolverine has, which is his passive, right? The healing factor. Now, the healing factor gives him a whole another set of 300 HP. So, on paper, when this is up, you have 2 health bars, right? 2 bars of 300, meaning that your effective HP while this is up is actually 900 when your passive is up. And so, 900 HP is a lot. The only caveat is that you have to do this when you're actually at full HP, because if you take a bunch of damage and then you shout when you're at like 150 or like 100 HP, then now you're only getting 50 effective HP, right? So then 100 becomes 150, math, blah, 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 math and shit, whatever. You get the point. So ultimately, you got to do something to make sure that it's up. Now, the issue with the Howl is that it's the only ability he has that can't be like animation canceled. So when you howl, you have to do the whole like, you got to make the stupid noise every time. Like, even if I'm mashing his dash attack, I still have to go through the whole thing. But his other abilities, right, they all cancel into each other, right? You can dash attack, tackle, you can tackle, dash attack, you can just like mash them like crazy, right? Like it literally, they all cancel. It's just that your Howl, you just gotta like do it, right? And I think that's the reason why most people don't like using it, is because it's not very fluid, because it doesn't cancel. The thing that's cool though is that your Howl can cancel your other abilities. So you can do that. You can do this, right? You can cancel those abilities with your Howl. So there is something you can do here. And so the first combo I'm going to cover is like the bread and butter one, which is like the one I think everybody knows, but they just don't do it. And it's where you go in, right? You dash attack, and then you like grab them, like let's say you bring them here. And then when the slam happens, you howl. So like in real time, it would be like, right? It would be like that. And so the important thing to know about the tackle is that it like stuns them on the ground, right? You see that? That stun on the ground, right? That's like really important to know about it. So you use that stun to allow you to have the time to, like to do your little stupid, furry shit. So now that you got that done, right? Like that's the B&B. What are some other ways to use it? Is that there's actually a really good one that I don't think many Wolverines use, which is where you tackle and you just howl in the air. And so why this is good is, you notice like I keep all this momentum, right? Like if I just did a tackle and a right click like this, I would drop right here. Whereas if I did a tackle and a howl from right here, okay, I kind of did it wrong. You have to kind of do it at like the apex. Okay, I guess that is how far you go. If you aim up higher, you go farther too. Like if you aim straight up like this, you go like really far if you really wanted to go far. But this is really good, because what you can do is like, let's say there's a fight happening here. Your two teams are just scrapping. You see like a Strange and a Groot right here. You just be like, you just go in and start hitting them, right? And so this is like actually one of the best like engage combos I've seen so far, because you can't always like sneak up on them and be like, ooh, 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 ooh. You know, like it's really hard to get this without like getting shot in the head, right? Because like what happens is like you're like over here creeping, you know, you're lurking over here, and you're over here, and then like boom, there's a Hela standing right there, and she just shoots you in the head, right? So like this combo is good, right? Like this is the bread and butter, but ultimately you're not gonna be able to hit this as much. And like what's I've found more useful so far in my games is that going in like this is like extremely good. So yeah, so those are the two main combos I think you're going to be using. But there's also one more that I don't see like any Wolverines doing. I don't see him doing them even in higher ranks. Maybe like the super high ranks are doing it because I'm not like in top 500 yet or anything like that. But in those super high ranks, maybe they do this combo. But this combo is basically you just double cast your tackle and your howl. So you do this, right? So when you double cast it, what it means is that you're literally just going tackle howl. So you can see like for a second my tackle comes out. You can see like the animation for a second. And what this means is that basically you can position on somebody like that, and then you double cast. And this one's really good if like the team, like the fight is really close together, right? Like you don't want to take the tank anywhere, right? You want him to stay where he is. Like the tank is here, and let's say you don't want to do that. This is really good for that because basically you can just right, you're just like, all right, I'm just gonna go into the fight and start pumping. So yeah. Actually, there's one more thing that's really good with this thing is that you can actually use it with your ult to get like, basically just to like, you know, get in on somebody so you can go. Oh, whoops. So you can use it like that as well, and so it's really good because you get so much momentum. Whoops. You get so much momentum when you're flying. Right. Whereas if you did this, you would just fall straight down, you know. And I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Oh yeah, there's one more thing with this tackle actually, where like if you tackle them like this, and you howl in the air, they're gonna fall straight down. So if you're trying to grab, let's say there's a hole, like this is a hole right here, and you want to take this guy with you down here, you can like fall straight down with him, and he's like, you know, you're trapped in here with me type shit, you know. But yeah. So yeah, use your howl more, use it, you know, TLDR basically, use your howl when you're full HP, put it on, like, you're gonna be so much happier because you're gonna be just not dead, right? And if you really think about it on paper, if your passive is up, you have as much HP, actually more HP than a tank, like, you know, on paper in theory, because it's 900 effective health, right? So, you know, use your howl.